There you go, right?
Well, you're right. The two towers of the World Trade Center are sort of a central character in this story. And I was in New York City on 9/11, and I remember that day well. And I think all of us, whether we were in New York or anywhere else in the world, when we see those two towers, we think of the tragedy. And that's, I think, appropriate. But with any tragic loss, I think it's also important to remember the good times, the beautiful memories that we have. It's like grieving for a lost loved one. You don't want to only focus on their death, you want to remember their life, and that's what this movie does. Detail than in emotions, and I think the reason is there's not a great way to articulate. I didn't really watch it. I mean, I had seen it when it came out, but I didn't have to because I was spending time with Philippe for real, and that was really what I studied.
Perfect match for Philippe. You speak French, you like the circus arts.
Yeah.
Tell me about dream come true doing this role.
This in many ways did feel like a role that was somehow tailored for me in the stars, and I felt really lucky that Mr. Zemeckis asked me to do it. I've always had a crush on the French language and French culture and French movies, and I always wanted to be in some kind of French movie. I didn't anticipate that it would be a big scale Hollywood movie that I would play a Frenchman in, but life works in mysterious ways sometimes, I guess. Well, yeah, Philippe Petit and Edward Snowden have certain things in common in that, they both took enormous risks, showed incredible courage, broke the law, and did something they very deeply believed in. They're also very different. One, Philippe is a quintessential artist who believes in beauty and whimsy. Edward Snowden is a quintessential engineer who believes in logic and facts. So they're different and they're similar.
Did you get to spend time with Snowden?
Yes.
It's a great joy, and it's also an anticipation about the life of the movie, who is going to touch many lives. I am sure millions of people are going to be inspired to see part of my life, that amazing adventure. Many people heard about it, but not many people were invited backstage, and nobody so far in cinema was invited to walk the wire with me, and that film offers that, so it's unique.
Doing research story, I thought it had all the elements to make a really compelling, thrilling, emotional movie.
It's always been on our minds, and of course, that's the World Trade Center towers are obvious characters in this story. But the thing that the tragedy is important to remember. We never want to forget it, but we also need to remember, I believe, moments that were beautiful in their history as well, not just the tragedy.
Invite everyone in the cast to come over, and our first night we watched Back to the Future, and we had so much fun. We're like, let's do that again next weekend. We watched Romancing the Stone and Cast